Hope y'all doing excellent, doing great. So I'm just outside, at the park. My son's out there playing basketball. Outside, sit in my car, work on my laptop, do a little chit chat with y'all as well. So this is more like my laid back look. So nothing fancy or anything like that. But I still wanted to chat. So lately I have been thinking more and more, which I came to this decision that I wanted to move back closer to home, move back to some familiar faces. Now, I know before I did post about stepping out your comfort zone, stepping into places that you're not familiar with, just to get that experience, because I still do believe that we do have to get out of what we know and embrace something new, especially we're trying to grow and go into different places and spaces in life. So I do still believe that. I still believe that all my heart that, yeah, it's good to take a chance and just to step into something new and something great and just continue to grow. So, one of the things that have been more, I guess it's been more on my mind when it comes to move back home is, just thinking about how I should go back. Like, what's the mindset there? Because I get it. Some people are not really into their home places, where it's a hometown, home state, because of, I could just be real. Us having like bad experiences there, and we feel like that if we go back home, nothing's gonna change, nothing's gonna be new. But what I'm learning is that you take yourself everywhere you go. I don't care if you're going to California, Texas, across the world, you take yourself wherever you go. So if you had issues before, then if you have not taken care of those issues, I guess when you weren't there, or if you were there, if you haven't taken care of those issues, they're still gonna be there. So it didn't matter if you've been gone 5 or 10 years. If the issues are still there, it's gonna be there when you go back. But I understand that for some people, because of the environments that were there, the group of people that were there, is that we need that change and we need to get out. So it's like if you decide to go back home, how do you want to approach that? And I have been thinking that before I said about being, out your comfort zone, that this time I'm coming with the mindset that I do want things to work out, meaning I have the right mindset about the type of friends I want to have, the type of community I want to have, the type of church I want to be part of. Just have that mindset of, just because something bad happened, before maybe, I had a hard time in that area doesn't mean that things are going to be like that coming back. It doesn't mean that just because things didn't work out the first time, that cannot work out this time. And yes, if you're not, at that point in your life where, hey, I don't have to go back home, I'm happy being where I'm at. My advice or just wisdom to you is that to still make sure that you have a good support system. That's what I'm trying to get at, because everybody needs support. Everybody needs to have people around them that's going to help them grow in life, going to help them move into different places in their life. It's good to have people that will hold you up and build you up. And it's good to have people that will pray for you. Those who actually have a relationship with God, that's key. And it's good to have people cheering you on, encouraging you. That's why I love getting up here on this channel. Whether I'm made up or I'm not, I know that people will still need that word. So I understand when, you have moved around a lot and you get to a point where you want to have some stability in your life. And for some of us, that is home because we know that place. I'm originally from the South, Mississippi, Arkansas. That's my home. That's my area. And I have moved to Columbia, Missouri 2 years ago. And this is not my space, and this is not my area. I just went out and just said that. There's nothing against anybody that stay here, or if you are in Colombia, because you may have different experience, and maybe you can give me some tips, of what I can get into. But I know my mind's kind of pretty much made up. Not kind of, it's pretty much made up that I'm going back home. But my time here in Colombia was not the best. It was not the best experience I have. So of course, I think about the decision back to the day I made the decision that it was a lot of peace around it, but at that time I really did need to work, which to be honest, I don't know if I really did need to because I still had a good savings account. I was in between jobs. My contract had ended in one place. So I was looking for, another job, a new area. And if I can go back to that decision, I could just really thought more about if I was so adamant about not being in my home area or not being around, familiar faces, then I need to think about what's the reason why I didn't want that, why I didn't want to be in that place. And that is something to think about because I think for some of us, um, for you branching out, it really wasn't because of job opportunity. It really wasn't because of an adventure or you just want to do something new, which that could still be true. But it was more of you wanted to get out of that same area, that old space, because it had some scars. And you think just by relocating physically, that all of that will go away. But what I have learned just by being here in Missouri is that these things need to be still be dealt with, So it had put me in a position here to really think about, just think about how I want to move forward from those past things and how I want to go back, just being in a different area, which is still gonna be different for me because my original hometown is Clarkston, Mississippi. So I'm not moved back to Clarksville, but moving back to an area that's closer that, to my people, to some of the people that I know, and just to have like that, support. Now, I do want to say this just in this video that just because we have these attentions about well I say expectations about who is going to support us, that does not mean it may not be that way because yes, we can go back to home area, a familiar place, where we do know people that you may end up meeting some new people there. You may end up meeting some new people that'll be a part of your life, a part of that support system for you, and allow that to happen. And, it's nothing wrong if family's a part of your support system. I do understand that sometimes we do have these high expectations about our family, want them to be a part of everything in our lives, but we know that they can have bad intentions, and we know there some of our family is not good for us and not good where we are going. So I understand that part where there may not be a part that's that real support system that you need. That may not be a part of that journey in your life. That doesn't mean, hey, I'm gonna cut them off or anything. It's just that certain parts of my life do not have access to. I just say that. But this is just a conversation I just want to put out there. I may continue it next week and just update you on my journey. I may do that, may not, because I feel like I have enough content. I can just talk about so much stuff and may not have to talk about everything going on in my life, but I'm still an open person. I like to be real and authentic and just to help people. But I do understand that it's nothing wrong with wanting to go back to your hometown, your home state, to a place that you're familiar with, but make sure you go back the right mindset. Make sure you go back and know that, hey, this is just a fresh start for me. This is not to get entangled back into the old stuff or be entangled with the wrong people, but this is a fresh start for me. This is for me coming back as the grown up person. I say, come back as a grown up Shakur. She matured in some ways. So she's not coming back the same mindset that she had before, but she is coming back to succeed. And also, for some, I know I keep, saying I'm going to end it, but I do want to say this part for real. I'm going to end it after this. But if you're coming back, and I understand people can go off and try to do things and try to be successful, and sometimes people may feel like if you're coming back, or they may think in their mind, if people see me coming back, they may think I failed in the other place. But no, it's not nothing like that. If you at a point in your life you can choose where you want to live, you can choose. So it's not a failure. It's just that you chose to, hey, I want to choose to be in this place now. And who knows, you may go off and go somewhere else. And maybe that going back home could be like it's like a restart. You recharge it. And now when you go to that next big place, because you recharge, reset, you able to handle things there. So you never know. So don't think it's a failure if you're going back home. Don't think it's so bad because you want to be around familiar faces. Just make sure those familiar faces are good for you. I think that's the whole just the basis of that. Make sure it's good for you. So hope y'all have a great day. If you have anything to say in the thoughts, comments, leave them